Goeienaand. Good evening, fellow South Africans, and I want to have a bit of a rant, okay? I am so annoyed, pissed off, actually, with the media in South Africa. You know, the way they put their narrative forward and refuse to cover actual news is quite extraordinary. I've covered in some detail the absolute scandal, the untold scandal of what went on at Schweizer at that school, where basically alleged racism became the story of the moment, where the invasion of that same school on that same day by a bunch of thugs who terrified the kids in the classrooms never even saw mention. That is how distorted the news is in South Africa. You know, there are so many crimes happening black on white, every day that just go untold. But if a white person puts a finger on an African, it's headline news. And I'm not joking. This is fact. The media in South Africa are largely a disgrace. So I was very surprised when, and this is a shout out to Sandra. Thanks, Sandra. This is a real little gem. But guess what? It's not in the media. It's an article that is posted in Facebook. And this should be the story of the moment in South Africa. With all the fires that are happening in Zimbabwe, and now the fires that have been set off in South Africa, the roads being blocked, those go through to the keeper. They're not covered. It's a disgrace. Now, I'm going to read this article to you, and it is right on the money. Okay? The decisive action comes after a call by Lindsay Marsdorp of the Black First Land First group, who said that if farmers felt blessed by God when it rained on their fields, then oppressed black people could feel blessed if white-owned farms are burnt down. That's his statement. Now, this is a senior politician, African politician in South Africa speaking. On Facebook, Marsdorp wrote, "Black Guard needs servants in Cape Town. Wind plus matches plus white-owned farms." On a previous occasion on his Facebook page, he asked the question, "When will we kill them?" You know, and this makes no mention in any of the mainstream media in South Africa. It's quite extraordinary. In its complaint, Solidarity petitions that those statements be investigated with a view to handing down a finding, that Marsdorp be ordered to apologize in public, and that the matter be referred to the National Director of Public Prosecutions recommending possible criminal prosecution. Good luck with that. You know, you just have to look at Malema and Andili. They say the same and much worse. And no, they're Teflon coated. You can't touch them. Anyway, continuing with this little article. Solidarity Chief Executive Dr. Dirk Herman says, "We are astounded that steps have not yet been taken against Marsdorp. The Western Cape is ablaze, and those who are instigating the burning of farms are sitting cosily at home. Utterances such as those inflame a climate in which the burning down of farms is being justified. This was not merely an incitation to violence. A hate speech element is also evident. The call was specifically to raise the farms of white people, creating in its wake a climate that justifies violence on white people." Now, You know, if you burn down the crops of the white people, isn't that called shooting yourself in the foot? Because food prices are going to go up because there'll be a shortage of that food. This is where they don't have the logic. They don't realize what happens when they do something like that. It's really sad, actually. It is very sad. But anyway, continuing on. The fact that Marsdorp's statements, among them the question, when can we start killing white people, are not denounced on the front page of every newspaper, indicts politicians, opinion formers, and the media of selective racism. I totally agree. I totally agree. The media is a disgrace. South Africa is far too patient with crude black racism that has an overtone of violence. It should be rejected by white and black alike. Double racial standards do not belong in a democracy that rejects racism. Herman says his complaint is putting the South African Human Rights Commission commitment to fight all forms of racism to the test. If racism has an overtone of hate, violence to boot, it should not only be rejected, but it should be subjected to prosecution. And interestingly, that the person who posted that article, and I thank him for posting that, is an African fellow, Tato Sizwe. And thanks, Tato. That article is right on the money. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and have a great evening. Bye for now.